Okay, this is a game tutorial. So what we're going to do here is I started out in bell shape. I'm using a type 9. And when you start out, what you want to try to do is make sure that you have enough people to run the boat. Got to have room in the bow quarters for people to rest. Got to have people in this section where the torpedo is to make sure you have enough people to run that. For this particular boat, I have aft torpedoes, so I have to make sure I got people here. I got people running the diesel engines. I like to have spare people for that. And really I only use one guy to do this, because when you're on the surface you can't use sonar, and when you're in the water, well, you can't use the radio. So what I'm going to do is get myself set up here. It's where I'm at. I already got my little happy side emblem and whatnot. Check your torpedo loadouts, make sure they're what you want, because if they're not, then what you do is you can pretty much change them out. So like if I wanted that one, swap it to this. That way you can pick and choose what kind of system you're working with. I did want to update this. No, here we go. Yeah, because it's it holds more rounds. See, rate of fire, clip size of 40, and I wanted to get a battery in here, so that takes care of that. Wonder if I can add anything else. Nope, I guess not. Okay, my funds are spent. So, oh, before I go, when you go to leave, you gotta check the realism, because really, default-wise with the game, realism, it isn't much. Now, this obviously clearly is a mod I'm using, but it's one that I did. It's my own personal mod. So my boats are ranged where all these are very useful. But I pretty much, if I, had the default game, some of this stuff ends up getting checked off. I go with the realistic repair time. You don't need to. I don't ever use dud torpedoes. The steam torpedoes were developed during around the time period of World War I, and whatever problems they had with those had already begun to be resolved before getting into World War II. But the electric ones, the first generations, they had problems. When this is checked, all the torpedoes, including the ones that never had problems, just do not. It's like the game takes advantage of it, and it's like half your complement is junk. Now, what it checked off, torpedoes that came out as what do they call that? You have to bear with me. Prototypes, they tend to malfunction from time to time anyway, game-wise. So I never have that checked, and I personally don't use the noise meter. Okay, now I'll see you on the docks. Okay, now we're on the docks. We're going to get ourselves ready to leave here.
Schiff gesichtet. Lage 8,5. Große Entfernung.
Get myself sorted.
Schiff gesichtet.
I always like to
Lage
get myself
1,5.
ready.
Mittlere Entfernung.
Once I pull out, I have a tendency to forget things.
Schiff gesichtet. Lage
So
3, 2,
one
7.
is
Mittlere
auto loading.
Entfernung.
I personally don't use it, so I leave that unchecked. I want to make sure that these weapons are already set.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Feuer über mittlere Distanz.
This here, weapons, that'll do. Well, planes are going to be
Jawohl,
a
Herr
problem.
Kaloin. Feuer frei! Auf
Wir eröffnen
anfliegende
das
Ziele
Feuer.
feuern!
Los geht's, Männer!
Here they'll only shoot at engaging targets. So once I put them on the guns, they'll do it right off the back. But I don't want them to waste ammo, so they'll
Jawohl,
fire
Herr
at
Kanone.
engaging targets
Feuer
at
über
medium
mittlere
range.
Distanz.
Okay. Now on this mod, it's not really all that relevant, but I have reset these charts so the Type 9 is ocean going. So my charts are going to be taking me ocean going according to how it was done, and I'm going to AN66. Let's take a look here. Oh, that'll work. I don't feel like making a long run. Something local will be okay. Actually too local, but alright. Should be fine. So, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling
Jawohl, Herr
out.
Kaloin. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Then I'm going to start plotting my course. So you'll start to follow that while I'm busy here. Now it's AN 66. What I'm doing here is setting up a patrol grid. I will be doing this patrol grid in slow speed. Okay, that'll do. Add a little time compression to get me out of here, because in this thing here I do have a few ships and I don't want to hit them. Here we go. Now I'm going to bring it up to normal speed. Try to be fuel conservative. Then we go to time compression and get there. Now I'm here at my patrol grid. Now, usually when I get in here, what I'll do is I'll go down to slow speed. That way, it'll give me the 24 hours to complete my grid so I can return back to port, which shouldn't take too long to do.